Thank you. That's very kind of you. So, last summer, I went to Las Vegas for my first time. And while I was there, I heard a hooker fart. Don't know if you've had the pleasure. But when I heard it, I said out loud, "Now that's a prostitute." Yeah, he did not find it that funny. So glad you all liked it. Anyways, I was talking to my wife recently about how I should write some better jokes than that last one. And I jokingly said maybe we should have some kids so we can make fun of the stupid things that they do. And I think my wife thought I was serious because she responded, "Honey, I am not ready for kids. I'm sorry if you are, but I am not ready for that responsibility in my life." And then she very seriously added, "But maybe you could go to the park and watch kids there." Write down the funny things that they do. I said, "Yeah, I don't think that's the kind of comedian or person that I really want to be in life." Could you imagine if all my jokes just started with, "So the other day I was at the park watching some kids." Sort of my thing. What would my punchlines even be? It's like, kids say the darndest things, am I right? Like the other day I heard one say, "Hey, mister!" You all know how kids talk. "Hey, mister, quit watching us!" "Hey, mister, put me down!" "Hey, mister, why don't you have any pants on?" And that's when the police showed up. I feel like that joke is a weird version of like a police sting operation. You know, like where sometimes they'll leave a car running to see if someone will steal it. But in this case, like a police officer goes and tells jokes that only pedophiles will laugh at. And then at the line, and that's when the police showed up. Real police officers come in and arrest everyone who was laughing and looking suspicious. And I heard most of you laugh, and I think the rest of you are recovering addicts, so you look suspicious as all get out. Thank you for laughing with that. But no, my wife didn't need to tell me that she's not ready for kids, because I'm not ready. I'm too worried that my kids would be like me. Like growing up, I was not cool. I got bullied for like being fat, to the point that my parents transferred me to a new school. I remember on the first day, my new school, I was sitting at the lunch table, and this kid at my table goes, "Hey, does anybody want my chocolate milk?" I don't know if you all know this about fat kids or not, but they love chocolate milk. Most kids do, but especially the fat ones. So I was like, "Yeah, I want your chocolate milk. Chocolate milk is awesome." And the kid goes, "I'll give you my chocolate milk if you kiss my ass." And everyone at the table started laughing, but I just said, "Okay." And not because I wanted to kiss this little boy's ass, all right? I promise. I realize that's a weird thing to promise to a room full of adults, but I promise it. I said okay, because I was only in the 2nd grade, and I had not yet learned what the word ass meant. Which honestly makes the situation way worse, right? Because I was just willing to kiss an unidentified object in order to receive chocolate milk. Looking back, I don't even know if the bullies at my old school were bullying me. They might have just been legitimately concerned. You're like, "Hey CJ, buddy, we noticed that you've been gaining some weight. Also, you're prostituting yourself out for food. You have a serious problem." I was just like, "I don't have a problem. Also, what does prostitute mean again? Is that like a hooker's fart? Because actually, I will fart for food." You all know State Farm's slogan, "Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there"? I hate that slogan. I think it's so dumb, right? Because there's never, ever been a time in my life where I thought, "Oh crap, I wish my neighbor was here right now. That'd solve everything." No, neighbors are the worst. They're so weird. Like, no matter how friendly you are with your neighbor, you always kind of have the thought in the back of your mind, like, maybe they have a stack of dead bodies somewhere in their house. And it's totally possible. You all do realize that it only takes 2 dead bodies to make a stack of dead bodies. That's a pretty achievable number of dead bodies. That's like running over one couple on a tandem bicycle ride. Boom, stack of dead bodies. It is actually harder to find a tandem bicycle than it is to find a stack of dead bodies. I've checked. But I'm sure, some of you think, oh, my neighbor's way too nice. They could never murder someone. You're wrong, all right? Watch the news. Anytime they catch a murderer, they always go to his house, they always interview the neighbor, and they always ask the same thing. Did you have any idea that you were living next to a murderer? The neighbor's always like, no, that guy was the nicest person I knew. It's to the point now that anytime my neighbor is nice to me, I just call the police. I'm not taking chances. It's like, hello, officer, you should probably get over here immediately. Pretty sure my neighbor has like 7 dead orphans in his garage right now. Yeah, well, it really tipped me off when he invited me over for a barbecue. I'm not trusting those ribs. I'm not gonna eat those orphan ribs, you guys. No matter how good they sound. I realize, it's easy for me to stand up here and be like, oh, neighbors are so weird and creepy. But I'll be the first to admit that I'm a weird, creepy neighbor sometimes. Like last week, I was leaving for work, 7:30 in the morning. My neighbor is also leaving, and she has her dog with her. The dog starts barking at me, and it's early. She's trying to quiet it down. It's okay, boy, it's okay. And for whatever reason, I think I should also say something to calm this dog down. So what I do is I say, which I immediately realize sounds terrifying to my neighbor. Fine to the stupid dog, but terrifying to this woman at 7:30 a.m. So I think, quick CJ, specify that you were just talking to the dog. So I add, dog. Yeah, surprisingly does not help the situation at all. She leaves as fast as she can, and honestly, good for her, right? Because let's be real, 9 times out of 10, when a grown man whispers that he's not going to hurt you, that dude really wants to hurt you. His game plan is step 1, say I'm not going to hurt you. Step 2, hurt you. Probably to death. Anyways, I got a little sidetracked there. I apologize. Back to the point. I don't like State Farm's slogan. Right, I think that it's dumb. I think a much better slogan for State Farm would be, like a good neighbor, State Farm mows its lawn and minds its own damn business. I think we all could use a neighbor like that. You guys have been great. I'm CJ Lance. Enjoy the rest of your show.